Okay. Hi. Um, yeah, so we changed direction today. Our energy's going out. We're dealing with Mars. And Mars, we usually hear of Mars as the god of war or of power or force. It's kind of those things. I always try to see the function of a planet. Like how does it function? How does it work? So when you go through different keywords, ideas of Mars, you got strength, force, aggression. Some people put desire there, but I think the desire and the lust is in Venus. And Mars is just the energy to do. So Venus seduces Mars, and Mars does whatever Venus wants it to, or starts complaining about it. So energy, yeah, how do you apply your energy? That would be it. I mean, we're doing something. So say you're on a roll and you're doing something. What happens when someone gets in your way or something interferes with what you're trying to do? And you're working on it and something disrupts it and makes it harder for you. Usually you don't get nicer or sweeter. You usually get angry and say, get out of my way. What are you doing? Okay, so that's in a way, Mars is kind of simple. It's the desire for experience. I want to do something. What do you want to do with your life? It's what kind of experiences do you want to have? Where you take some of the pop songs. Are you experienced? And boy, that hits a nerve on 15 and 16-year-old boys and girls, or teenagers, because they want to be experienced. They want to be adults. Parents don't want them to be experienced. And the eternal battle goes on. So it does represent potency. In sexuality, Mars is your prowess to how you can prove you can satisfy someone else, how you can do what you're going to do to someone else to take care of them or not do. And Venus is what you want to be done, or how you want to be, what turns you on. So Venus is the what would let you climax, what would be open, what would let you be receptive. Wow, this is it. Mars is, have you got the energy to do it? Have you got the courage to go for it? Have you got the strength or the stamina to make things happen? So you can see it on a sexual level, just even in growing. Everybody's born, but we aren't born equally. We're all born with different charts, different situations, and not everybody's as healthy or as strong. So in many ways, your moon, your health, your nutrition, your intelligence, your coordination, your alertness, your choices and your values are all going to have, and your confidence are all going to have some effect on your confidence, which is going to have effect on what you dare to try and do. But we're looking at Mars in itself. Really, it's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Each one affects each other level. And if you have a problem at one, it's going to affect everything else. If you're not eating right, you're not living right. Moon, you're not acting right, you're not choosing right. There's a whole bunch of other things that go along with it, or you start doing bad. So like Mars is simple. You do it or you don't. You go make something happen, go happen. But the difficulty is when you do things, if you look from Jupiter to Mars, there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. If you look from Saturn, if you start something, are you going to finish it or you can complete it? Are you disciplined? Are you prepared? So we all have power and energy. We all use it. Are we prepared? Do we use it well? Are we disciplined? Can we hold a job? Can we be steady? Or if we're not disciplined and we're just going on whatever adrenaline comes up, most teenagers, and a lot of other people too, but it's your hormones. It's your need to push. But Mars isn't. It's an individual. Each of the planets are individual factors. Both men and women have Mars. They both want to do things. And all people have choices. We all want to get things. Venus. So it's not a male or female thing. strength isn't male or female. A woman can be just a individual in a woman's body can be just as strong as an individual in a man's body, like, or can be just as aggressive or just as angry. So a lot of complications comes because whenever we're doing things because we want to get something from it. I'm doing this for you, but really I want you to like me, or you owe me. I'm trying to build up points. I'm trying to get something. I'm doing something. So sometimes you don't want people to do things for you because they're trying to collect points and get things back from you, which you don't want to give back to them. Or after I've given all my energy to put it out to make love to you or to make sure you're satisfied and happy, the least you do is be a little bit nice to me, like. So there's a balance between how much we try to do, how much is appropriate, how much the timing is ready, how much courage and strength we have to actually pull it off, and how well can we do it without hurting anyone else. And if we're doing it and we're angry or we're hurting someone else, one of the Jupiter lessons and one of the Saturn lessons is around this is it's going to come back. What you put out will come back. You learn that from Jupiter, but that's wise Mars. But right now we're just looking at the energy. It can go out, good or bad. Anyone's capable of killing anybody. Anyone's capable of getting mad, of blowing up or breaking something, or kids in temper tantrums. Usually it's caused when they don't get what they want. But if I don't get what I want, then anything's justified. If I can't have you, nobody can have you. Like, this is how I'm controlling my world. This is my war. This is my values. This is my fight. My energy. And it changes at goes through phases across a lifetime and different things. So how strong are you? How courageous are you? Are you doing what you want to do? Can you get things for yourself, or you want other people to do things for you? Do you have a strong Mars or do you have a weak Mars? And Mars, one of the physical symbols of Mars is your muscles. So how in shape are you? How physically strong and in shape are you? Can you run across the room? Can you run up some stairs? Can you go do the game, pick up things and move things? Or do you have to compromise? I'm older. I don't have I got this, my strength, my will, but my power of strength, my determination is stronger than my muscles or my body. So I have to be a little bit wiser what I'm doing. I can't do all the things I used to do. That's humbling. But I still can get mad when someone gets in my way or is doing something wrong. Jeez. I mean, what good comes out of anger? Like this is a puzzle. But how do you use your energy? You have a certain amount of energy. There's 24 hours in a day. What are you doing with your time? What are you doing with your life? What did you do today? Well, at least you made room to be able to get to the class. So we got here, and now we have to stay sitting still to listen to this and put up with it. Let's take this in for a whole couple hours, but it's going towards something. So Mercury and Venus create the agendas, and the Moon create the needs. They create the agendas that Mars is going out and trying to solve. But while it's trying to go out and solve things, it's trying to do a few things. Let's take a wing at this. Let's climb up that. It's like taking a kid for a walk. They're going to jump on here. They're going to run here. They're going to run that. And that's normal. You just have to watch they don't run out in the road, or they can get killed. So if you're doing things if you're putting out bad energy, you'll attract bad results. If you're putting out lethargic or negative energy, or you impair your energy through alcohol or drugs, you're not going to be in control. And you're going to attract other people who are not as in control also. So if you get angry at someone, it's amazing when you get angry. You don't remember, you remember what the other person did to you, don't remember what you did to them. And you get all this adrenaline comes up, and it can build up over stupidest things. I remember once I was painting, I'm moving into a new place, but the whole floor had to be painted. So I've got 95% of the floor in this whole big warehouse space painted. There's only about 10 feet left to go. Now the guy downstairs and his girlfriend's living downstairs. She's freaking out because the fumes are coming downstairs. So I'm almost finished, and he comes running up into my room and says, "You got to stop, you got to stop." I said, "What? I got a little bit left." He kicks my bucket of this brown paint, and it goes flying over my newly painted white walls. I was furious. I just took the brush I had in my hand, and I just slapped them across the face with a paintbrush. I didn't think about it. I didn't remember that. Then it escalates. Then he starts kicking me. We start kicking each other. Like, this starts to be a fight. Then he takes off. Then he goes off, and we're just new neighbors. We end up being friends in time, but it was threatening. But when I remember he kicked me. What did he do? He pushed me. He kicked over the butt. I remember all the things he did. I forgot that I slapped him across the face with a paintbrush after he kicked the paint. So he kicked the paint. I slapped him with a paintbrush. He kicks me. Whoa, full flared. Who knows how far it goes? We got away from each other. We calmed down, and it took about a few weeks, but we were talking and we got past it. We're neighbors for a bunch of years, but we never got on each other's nerves again. Of course, he didn't stay with the same Virgo lady, so he wasn't as nitpicked. So anyways, this is a story. We all have our stories of adventures, things we got away with, things we did, things we didn't get away with, things we crashed the car, we fought. Like, as soon as you get angry, as soon as your energy gets off being just clear, and you can be strong, you can be courageous, you can be aggressive, but you don't have to be aggressive and hurt people. As soon as you start hurting or interfering with other people, then it starts getting on the negative side. You start collecting bad karma. It becomes harder and harder to maintain it, and sooner or later there'll be a collapse. So Jupiter and Saturn play a role in understanding or guiding or encouraging Mars, but Mars is just generally on go, but in various degrees. Our energy goes. It's a 2-year cycle. Half the year. By the time we learn how to stand up, as soon as we learn how to stand up and run, we're put in a cage so we can't run around. By the time we get to 2, we can climb out of it. We start getting, that's the terrible too. So we start doing it, and they have to watch us. And then, anyways, we go through 2-year cycles in our life. It's hard to get a sexual relationship past. If a relationship is just about sex, it's hard to get it past 2 years, because 1 year you're on and 1 year you're off, and you have the conjunction, the opposition, and you're going to have this pulses, and then usually if there's bigger commitments, a bigger thing, it can pull you in for a longer time. But this adrenaline, this hormonal energy, this rush of energy, this going out to be in nature, to run, to walk, run up the stairs, to just to breathe and be alive, this is Mars. Not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's only when it gets out of control or gets off, gets colored by anger, wrong judgments, or it's not worth it. Out of all the things there are to do, it's hard to maintain simple innocence and just do things simply and not interfere with other people. Then you get competitive with other people. That's another thing. You know, like you have the strong kids at school, you have the weak, medium-sized kids at school, the weak kids at school, and they're all competing for the same boys or the same girls, and these competitive things come up. Then people sometimes gang up. It becomes more of a Jupiter thing as they add up, but you're putting to the energy. Adrenaline increases adrenaline. And often we run into the great God, oops, but sometimes we get, aha, I did it. Yes, I did it. You know, this time of Olympics, when the Olympics are going on, everybody's doing things, and they're pushing it to the limit. Now, a lot of people try and push something to the limit, they're going to get killed, or they're going to hurt themselves. If you're going to be running in the Olympics, you've got to be working out and getting in shape for 3 or 4 years daily to get in the right shape to be able to compete at that level. Phew. If we have to do that much for a simple little competition or game, how much do we have to be in shape for marriage or for a relationship? Okay, so usually we have our successes and failures based on what we've done and what we haven't done. What I can do, what I can't do. Somebody's stronger than me. I can't do this. I better do this. And our mind and we find ways to work around and to do other ways. So there's really a spectrum of who's strong and who's weak and who's handicapped, who can't move, who can. All of these things, everybody still has Mars. It's just going to change from one level to another. And helping, just trying to get things done.